Alright, so today I'm in the beautiful Piedmont region of Pennsylvania, and today I'm going to be climbing this hill behind me here in search of snakes. Now my main target for today is the copperhead, which are known to live on this hill, but there are a few other species I could find as well, and I'd be happy with just about anything. So my plan for today is to walk up this right-of-way, and then you'll see at the very top there's a lot of rocks. This hill is known by the locals as Copperhead Hill, which definitely makes it sound like the kind of place I want to explore. It was only 7 in the morning when I began this hike because I wanted to make sure I could reach the good habitat before it got too hot for snakes. However, this meant that it was still too early to really find anything. But it wasn't just the time of day that was preventing me from finding snakes. Alright, so I've climbed up all of that and made it to the base of this rocky area here. But as you can see, it has become very overcast and windy, which is weird because this was not in the forecast at all. So I really hope it passes over. I had only just started for the day and it already seemed like there were some storms moving in, despite the perfect conditions in the forecast. Alright, so I made it up to the top here, as you can see. This is some really good looking habitat up here. But, unfortunately, it is very cloudy and windy still. I haven't felt any rain yet, but this is unbelievable. This was not in the forecast at all. It's just definitely not great conditions. Absolutely no sunlight, all the rocks are still cold. So if the sun will come out, then this will be really good. If not, I might just have to come back another day. So my plan for today was just to walk along this ridge because there's a lot of really good looking habitat up here. And I'm actually still gonna do that, but if the conditions don't clear up and I don't find anything, I'll just resume this video when I come back tomorrow. Alright, it is not tomorrow yet. It is about 3 hours later. I've been exploring all over this area. I found this talus slope here, and let me show you what I just spotted in the rocks. Now before I show you what I found, let me fill you in on what I was up to for the last 3 hours. Because of the less than ideal weather, I decided to explore the valley on the other side of the ridge I climbed in the beginning. Luckily, it wasn't too long before the clouds moved on and the wind died down, and this change in weather proved favorable for the reptiles. That right there, in the trail, is an eastern box turtle. Let me get you a closer look. Look at that beautiful turtle. I love the yellow spots on its head. As the weather continued to improve, I decided to return to the ridge where I had begun the day, which is when I discovered a talus slope at the base of the hill. I've been exploring all over this area. I found this talus slope here, and let me show you what I just spotted in the rocks. Right, so right here we have a black racer, and it is my first one in this county. Oh my goodness, I thought it was a black rat snake at first. I had no idea this species would be here. And if I can catch it, it will be my first in-hand black racer ever. Well, I went for the dive, and luckily, this guy was not fast enough to get away from me. Oh my goodness, it's huge. I cannot believe this. This is genuinely, it's huge, and it's so friendly. Like it's not even trying to bite me. Look at the beautiful, smooth scales. Just such an interesting looking snake. I know these are very common in some areas, but in this county, they do not have many records. And luckily, I will be adding one to that list. All right, so here's another look at this gigantic black racer. I mean, I hope this gives you a bit of a size scale, just how huge this snake is. And you can see it's just very calm, just assessing its surroundings, not even trying to bite me or anything, which is pretty unusual for this species. I just cannot believe how cooperative of a snake this is. Now this guy probably got to this size by eating all the copperheads that I've heard are at this spot, which I still haven't found, by the way. But I mean, I am absolutely not disappointed. This is far better than a copperhead because I see plenty of those. I do not find these often. I know they're very common in the central part of this state, but in this area, again, this is my very first one I've ever found here. And I'm just so glad that I was able to catch it. Just a beautiful animal. Now, I want to reward this guy for being so cooperative by not bothering him for too long. So, I'm just going to let him go right back here in the talus slope where I found him. That is unbelievable. Alright, now that it's warmed up and the sky's got a bit of blue in it, I think I'm going to head back up to where I started this day and see if I can find myself a copperhead. I began my ascent up the steep rocky hillside, headed back towards the cut where I began the day. Alright, so I made it back up to where I started out this morning, And now I'm just gonna walk along this ridge until hopefully I can find a copperhead. The conditions are feeling really good now. Luckily, this ridge was pretty easy to traverse because it lacked the dense undergrowth I usually have to deal with in the more mountainous regions of the state. Alright, so I walked down this ridge a little ways and made it to this absolutely beautiful talus slope. I really hope this is crawling with copperheads. This hill is completely isolated from the nearest timber rattlesnake populations about 20 miles away. So, although it is perfect habitat for them, I knew copperheads would be the only pit vipers I could find today. However, even they weren't going to make it easy for me. Alright, so I looked through this one pretty thoroughly and didn't find anything, but there are some more talus slopes, and actually I think these ones might be even better because they face towards the south, and that's about a half a mile down the ridge. So I'll make my way over there now. I slowly worked my way along the narrow rocky ridge. Alright, so I finally made it out to the last talus slopes here. So there's one here, and then through the trees over there, there's another one. And as you can see, this is just some absolutely beautiful habitat. This one has a really nice view, as you can see. And now you can also see just how developed this area is. And yet there's still such cool habitat right up here. This mountain is surrounded by development like that on all sides. Alright, so I've searched a pretty long way down this slope. I haven't found anything yet, but I did just spot this racer skin. So we already knew those live here, but here's a pretty big one. Looks to be about the same size as the snake I found. Alright, so I searched my way through this entire talus slope here. Didn't find anything except that shed skin. So now I'm gonna work my way through the trees over here, and there should be another talus slope over there, and that's my last chance to finally find this copperhead. As I searched through more and more habitat, I was increasingly surprised that there were no copperheads. At this point, the conditions seemed pretty good, and the habitat seemed absolutely perfect. I even found a copperhead on the next hill over a few days earlier, in much worse conditions. Alright, so I've made it all the way to the bottom of this talus slope, and unfortunately I think the racers got to the copperheads before I could, because there's absolutely nothing out here, which is really unfortunate. I was really hoping to find some copperheads here. But either way, I really hope you learned something from this video, even though I only found one snake. I know every time I get out here, I learn things about the conditions that they like, the places they like to live, and apparently today was just not right to find copperheads. So with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next one.